This week on Competition Ready, we're heading to the one and only Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where Bob and Mike are teaching a Sonax detailer's workshop. And at the end, we'll give a few of the students the opportunity to test their skills on two incredible Duesenbergs from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum's private vault. These are rare and iconic classics, slated to be centerpieces in the museum's upcoming Indiana and the Automotive Industry exhibit. Enough talk, let's get to work. When the world's top builders need their cars to shine, they call Autogeek and their team of expert detailers to prepare their custom creations for some of the most prestigious automotive events in the industry. Join Mike Phillips and me as we team up with the country's top surface technicians to polish these incredible cars to perfection at that critical final moment before the doors open and the crowds begin to arrive. From the shop to the show, we're there to make these rides competition ready. Welcome to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, one of the fastest places on earth. Bob and Mike have been invited by Sonax to guest teach at the Sonax Detailer's Workshop here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So I figured, while they're in class, I take the opportunity to check out one of the most iconic raceways and museums in the world. Very little compares to the feeling of walking around such a legendary track. It's not only an honor to be invited here, but a privilege. Mike's holding his Autogeek Roadshow class, presented by Flex and Sonax in the heart of Gasoline Alley.
You want to make sure that everything that touches it is the highest quality that you can obtain, whether that's through your budget or through your resources, what's available to you. This is intense, hands-on training. My students are great. You just get people that are passionate about cars. They're here, they're serious, they're paying attention, and that's what it's all about.
While we're here, the museum's asked us to tackle two of their vintage pieces straight out of their private collection. We've got a 1935 Duesenberg JN and a 1927 Duesenberg Model A Roadster. Now, these cars have been out of sight, collecting dust for years, and are definitely looking a little worse for wear. This is going to be one serious challenge. Fortunately, Sonax is here and putting their entire arsenal of products at our disposal. And here's the big twist. At the end of the detailing workshop, we're going to ask a few select members of the class to stay an extra day and help us out. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for participating in the class. The reason why we asked you here to the museum is so you can stay an extra day, because the museum has two amazing cars in their private collection, and they have asked us to polish and get them ready for a very special exhibit they have. So, who's in?
All right.
Good? Yay. All right, I know you guys had a long day, so the rest of the days, just enjoy the museum, have fun, and tomorrow we'll get polishing. Yeah?
Sounds good.
All right. Studebaker, Auburn, Duesenberg, among many other car manufacturers, made their home in Indiana. For 100 years, the state has been a mecca for manufacturers and innovation. From Cummins diesel engines to high-speed race cars tearing around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Indiana has spent the last century at the forefront of the automotive revolution. And we're here to make sure these two beautiful cars help keep that reputation intact. This is a pretty incredible invitation for graduation. These guys get to work on two amazing rides that will not only represent the museum, but 100 years of Indiana car manufacturing. Don't worry, guys, you got this. Today is the big day. This group of lucky students has hit the detailing jackpot, working alongside the Sultans of Sparkle, Mike Phillips and Bob McKee, as they polish two incredible historic cars for Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum. Time to get to work. Our first order of business is to meet with Betsy Smith, Executive Director of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Foundation, and take a closer look at these two Duesenbergs. So here they are.
Yes, these are great examples of the collection that the museum has, and they will be featured in our upcoming exhibit on Indiana manufactured automobiles. This is a 1927 Duesenberg that was owned by Augie Duesenberg, and this is a 1935 Duesenberg, which is one of three four-door convertibles.
They're absolutely stunning.
We need to get these Duesenbergs super clean and shiny for our exhibit, and there's no team that is better to call than the team at Autogeek.
Well, they look good under these lights, but let's pull out my handy-dandy swirl finder light and check it out. Oh yeah, there's some room for improvement here. Wow, look at this leather interior. You know, it looks like it's actually due for a good cleaning. The top's all dusty, floorboards are dirty.
So Mike, what's jumping out at you that's gonna be our biggest challenge for today?
Well, to be honest, these types of cars are actually really difficult to detail. First of all, they're huge. Second of all, they're very ornate. It's got louvers up there. There's a lot of trim, ornate metal pieces on here that you have to work around, so it's actually a very complicated car to detail. It's a lot of work, but we can do it.
Well, how about a second car?
Double Duesenbergs. Wow. Well, Betsy, this is a beautiful car.
It is.
But I'm already starting to see some issues. First of all, if you look right here, this has got a pinstripe, two pinstripes all the way down the car. And usually the pinstriping is a lot softer than the factory paint. So you gotta be very careful when you're working around these areas. It has dual side mounts and these big flowing front fenders. And that just makes it complicated to get in there and polish out the paint. And we'll have to do a lot of this work by hand. And this has a lot more bright work, you know, chrome, stainless. It's a challenge, but it'll be a lot of fun, and I got a great team.
These are two jewels in our collection, and we want them to shine. I absolutely trust this team to get the cars clean. We wouldn't be here talking about it if we didn't. They're a fantastic team, and they have the reputation and the skills and expertise that these cars deserve.
So the first thing we need to do is get set up. So let's get to work. The first thing we need to do is get these cars clean, okay? So to do that, we're gonna use the Sonax Brilliant Shine Detailer, okay? And anytime you're using a detailer to remove light dust like these things have, remember, you wanna use them heavy or wet. That means spray down a lot of product, go through a lot of microfiber towels so you're not just recontaminating new sections of paint that you're wiping with dust that you've already removed. So let's work on these very carefully and let's get these things clean.
Once the waterless wash is done, Mike gathers the team for a little instruction on polishing.
Now, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna test the paint using a white polish like the Nano Polish and a white cloth, because just by looking at them, we can't tell if they're base coat, clear coat, like a modern car, or single stage. And it's important to know because single stage is very soft, and if they are single stage, that means we gotta be a lot more careful with them. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is just apply some polish here, work it a little bit. And if this is a clear coat, when I turn the cloth over, we'll see no green. If it's single stage, we're gonna see a lot of green coming off. What's that look like, guys?
Green.
Green paint. So we're working on single stage over here. Let's go check out the blue Duesenberg. Okay, here's the reveal. No color, base coat, clear coat. So that car has single stage, this has base coat, clear coat. And that means we still want to be careful, but we have a paint that's a lot harder, a lot more durable.
Now it's time for the old baggie test. Putting the plastic between your fingers and the paint makes it easier to detect contaminants.
How's it feel?
That's really smooth.
I don't feel any contaminants.
Feel smooth?
Very smooth.
Fortunately, these cars are both smooth as silk, which means we can skip the clay step and move on to polish.
So let's go over the techniques for using the cleaner wax.
Okay.
So this is the Sonax Easy Shine. It's a light cleaner wax, and the first thing we're gonna do is just put some right onto the pad. Now take your finger and press that around and work it into the pad.
Oh, okay.
And that way, when you turn it over, it won't dribble all over the place.
That's
the only reason, really, why. Now, there's a real big difference between applying a cleaner wax and a show car wax, or what's called a finishing wax. Finishing waxes, show car waxes, are non-cleaning. So typically, you're putting them on paint that is in excellent condition, and all you need to do is spread out a thin coat, let it dry, and wipe it off. When you're using a cleaner wax, because there's cleaners, there's lubricants, and there's abrasives, plus the wax protection, you want all these things working for you to remove the swirls and scratches.
Okay.
So that's why you want to use the product what's called heavy or wet. And that just means use an ample amount. So not a thin coat, but you want some product down there to actually work with.
Exactly.
Yeah, so now that you've kind of put a little bit on there, now go ahead and stick it right down on there. And you can kind of do this in a circular motion or in a straight line motion, whatever fits the panel best.
Okay.
And the type of abrasive technology that Sonax uses in their products, it doesn't scratch the paint. So when we talk about a cleaner wax using abrasives, some products on the market might, but not the Sonax products. The abrasive technology is very advanced. And so that's why it doesn't matter which way you move your hand, because you're not putting scratches in the paint.
Okay.
All you're doing is taking the scratches that are already there out of the paint. Beautiful. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is.
What a difference,
Yeah.
just with this product alone.
So clear coats, when you work on clear coats like this, what you're doing is you're restoring clarity to the actual clear coat. So think of clear coats like a window to the paint. So the blue paint is underneath the clear coat. We applied the product, removed all the haze, the swirls and scratches. Now we can see right through it to the beautiful blue paint. Plus it makes it all glossy.
And then this is just one of the stages. We still have...
No, for this car, this is it.
Oh, this is it?
Yep,
Oh, okay.
That's the benefit to a one-step cleaner wax. You do everything in one step. You clean, polish, and protect, one step.
I'm gonna take some of this for my car at home.
Yeah, well, it's perfect for people with daily drivers. You know, you don't have to just use it on a show car. You could use it on anything.
There's a lot of surface area to cover on these two cars, but we've got a big team and they were trained by the best.
We've come a long way, but the work is far from done. So far, Mike's students have proven they learned a thing or two in class, but now the pressure is on. Time to step up our game. We're getting close to completing the Duesenbergs, but these are very big and extremely intricate cars. And now that we're in the final stages, we need to make sure our work is absolutely perfect. All right, Mike, so we just finished the buffing stage. What's our next step?
Well, technically, the next step is we're gonna seal the paint, okay? And to do that, we're gonna use the Sonax Premium carnauba wax. And this is a 35% content carnauba wax, which is really high. And carnauba, of course, creates high gloss, so that's what it's famous for. This is called a bare hand rub out. And instead of using an applicator pad or working by machine, which is my favorite way, we're gonna just take and spin our fingers on the top of the wax, grab some wax, and then just apply it by hand.
Now, why wouldn't you use an applicator sponge?
There's actually a couple benefits to it. First of all, you use the warmth of your hand to kind of melt the wax.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and you can try that if you like, so it flows. It's important to take your ring off first, though, of course. And then after you get some wax in your hand, you just tactically come up here and spread it around. And it's actually kind of fun. And there is a benefit to this. If at any time, say something abrasive came into the process, you would feel it with your finger and you could stop. If you're working with an applicator pad by machine, you would never have that tactical feel. You never know.
And you could possibly scratch.
You couldn't.
Okay.
Look how nice the paint is. We don't have
Yeah.
to scratching. So it's kind of fun to apply a wax like this by bare hand, and everything inside the Sonax carnauba wax is safe. There's no strong solvents, no petroleum distillates. There's nothing in there that could hurt you by getting this on your skin.
And you get soft hands in the process.
That's right, and they smell good. So I did this part, now you get the rest.
I had a feeling once you handed me this that you were gonna go take a break. Okay.
I knew we were gonna be hands-on with these cars, but I didn't expect to be this literal. Once we finish applying the wax, it's time to keep the hands-on theme going and get these beautiful cars finished.
Okay, guys, it's time to inspect your towels, glove up, and let's remove the wax. Be very careful. This is the last step for the paint. We want it to look perfect.
These cars have really pushed us to our limits, and we still have to tackle the interiors.
This Duesenberg has a beautiful leather interior, but it's important to keep it clean and then to moisturize it and protect it so it stays beautiful. Now, to do that, this is an amazing product. First of all, it's an aerosol foam. And the benefit to an aerosol foam is it sits on top of the surface where you want it so you can work it. This is actually a Sonax brush, and it's made just for agitating and scrubbing leather. So work this in, and then take and wipe the excess off and all the dirt and the grime you've loosened up with a microfiber towel. You can see all the grime we're pulling out of there. And then the next step is the Sonax leather conditioner. And this is a rich gel, and the way you apply this is with a microfiber applicator pad, just like that, and then work it in. There's no silicone in this product, so it won't make the surface slippery. And that looks beautiful. Back in the day, Duesenbergs were known for their opulence and their bling. And to really make the bright work, the chrome and the stainless match the paintwork now, we need to polish it. And to do that, I've got the perfect product. It's the Sonax chrome and aluminum paste. And it's easy to work with, so that's just a little microfiber applicator pad.
Okay.
Then take and just apply this to the surface, work it in well. We'll let it dry a little bit, then we'll wipe it off.
Okay.
When we're doing specialty work like this in a museum where we don't have access to hose and water to wash the wheels and tires, here's one way to do that. This is the Multi-Star. It's an all-purpose cleaner, and all I'm gonna do is simply spray it onto a microfiber towel, and then I can use this in place of a hose and bucket to clean the rubber.
This is it, the home stretch. We're nearly finished with this stunning 1935 Duesenberg JN and 1927 Duesenberg Model A Roadster. This has been a massive task, but our students have been pushing hard to make sure these cars have that $1 million shine.
Okay, AJ, we're down to the last step to this car and we're finished.
Wow, okay.
That's cleaning the glass.
Okay.
There's a couple techniques that'll make glass cleaning fast and easy and give you streak-free results. And really, it starts with a quality glass cleaner.
Okay.
But the other secret is the two-towel system. So what I've done is I've taken the glass cleaner and I've sprayed one towel and just dampened it with the glass cleaner. The other towel is dry.
Okay.
So then the way this works is you take the damp glass towel and go ahead and wipe any of the dirt, the grime, And then what you do for your last wipes on glass is you go with the up and down motion. And that way, when you have a streak, then you do the outside side to side. If you have a streak, you know which side it's on. So after wiping it with the wet towel, come back with the dry towel, and then just go ahead and wipe off all the excess residue. Okay, then we can close the door.
Simple.
Once the glass and bright work are finished, these stunning Duesenbergs are ready for their big reveal.
Wow. They look fantastic. Thank you, Mike. We really appreciate it. AJ, thank you so much. Bob, this has been fantastic. They look great. When I walked around the corner with Bob and saw these cars for the first time, I was astounded. They look fantastic. The depth and shine is just remarkable. With the amount of chrome on these machines, it's incredible how you brought that out and how shiny they are. It would just look fantastic. Augie would be proud. With his initials on this door, he would be very proud. These guys did an excellent job on the cars, and even I, who am an amateur, can tell what a difference they've made in the cars in a very short period of time. And this one is equally beautiful. The interior just gleams, and I know it's difficult with dark paint to get it to look this way, but it's a mirror. It's gorgeous. Well, you have just made us so proud to be able to display these in our upcoming exhibit. Thank you so much for what you've done for us.
So safe to say we get 2 thumbs up?
You sure do. Thank you.
This project was a huge challenge, but Mike and his students definitely made these 2 Duesenbergs competition ready.